There's probably something on your list right now that would take you 5 minutes to do. A phone call, an email, lacing up your shoes and walking right out the door. You know it would take 5 minutes, and yet you've been avoiding it for over a month. Today, I want to talk about why that happens, why it happened to me this week with my Dopey training, and what actually works when your brain tries to convince you that the next step is just too much to handle. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Danny, and this channel is about proving that it's not too late to reinvent yourself one small action at a time. I'm currently training for the Dopey Challenge, which is 4 Disney races back to back, and I'm doing it while I'm raising money for the American Cancer Society. So, a lot of what I talk about here comes straight from what I'm living through in real time, including this week. I have been building a running base for about 10 months or so after I had taken a little hiatus. I needed a break. I was kind of tired of running. I did start back up last September, and then this past week my official Dopey training started. So the day before I started, I had probably 20 minutes where I just completely panicked. And those thoughts were coming so fast. What am I doing? I'm never going to be able to do this. This is too much. I'm never going to get through all this training and all of this running. 20 minutes. That's it. But in those 20 minutes, my brain built an entire case for why I should quit before I even really started. So here's what I want you to understand, because this is not just a running thing. This happens when you have a project that you're avoiding, a conversation you've been putting off, the workout you keep pushing till tomorrow. Your brain inflates things. It takes a task and it turns it into a mountain before you've even taken the first step. It doesn't have to be a big deal, but your brain will convince you that it is every single time if you let it. The tricky part is that it doesn't feel like exaggeration in the moment. It really feels like the truth. It feels urgent and certain and just completely real. That's exactly what makes it so easy to believe. Here's the thing I've learned, and it's the thing that got me through those 20 minutes. Your thoughts aren't facts. Just because your brain is telling you something doesn't mean it's true. My brain told me I'd never get through Dopey training. That thought felt so real in the moment and it felt urgent, but it wasn't real evidence. It was just a thought, just passing through the same way all thoughts do. So I didn't argue with it. I didn't try to talk myself out of feeling nervous. I just let the thought be there, felt a little uncomfortable and nervous for a while, and then I did my run anyway. And that's really the whole practice. You don't need to win an argument with your own brain. You just need to not let it be the one that makes the final decision. And actually, before I keep going, this is exactly what July is about for me. I'm running a challenge called 31 Days of Showing Up. It's just 20 minutes of movement a day, all month, completely free. It's not about doing something huge. It's about proving to yourself that you can show up even on the days when your brain is telling you not to. If you want to do it alongside a whole group of people who get it, come join us in the Showing Up Together Facebook group. I will drop a link below. Okay, let's get back to it. So Tuesday came, I had my first official training run and it went really well. Thursday, I had another run, also good. And then on the 4th of July, I ran a 4 mile race. It was so hot. And it was like the kind of heat that makes you question your life choices. But I still ran it about 30 seconds faster per mile than my normal training pace. The next day, I had a 6 mile run. None of those runs were the mountain my brain built in my head. They were just runs, one at a time, following my training plan and trusting the process. You don't have to sign up to run a marathon to prove this to yourself. You can always start small. Maybe your version of this is a 10-minute walk. Maybe it's opening your laptop and writing a paragraph. The size of the action doesn't matter nearly as much as the fact that you took the action. And here's something that I remind myself constantly: life is always going to be messy. Things are always going to happen. My training schedule is changing too. Instead of running 3 times a week, now I'm moving into a pattern of alternating weekends, one long run some weekends, 2 long runs back to back on other weekends, because that's basically what will prepare me for 4 races in 4 days. I really thrive on routine. So when I'm thrown off my routine, that can be a really big challenge for me. But instead of treating a disrupted schedule as a reason to stop, I figured out ways to work around it. And that's really the whole point. Finding a way to work around those challenges instead of letting them become a huge obstacle. And I'm doing all of this training for the Dopey Challenge while also raising funds for the American Cancer Society, which is an organization that has meant a lot to me personally as a cancer survivor. If you ever want to support that, there's also a link in the description, but no pressure at all. I just wanted you to know it's part of why I'm out here running in the heat on a weekend. So here's what I actually do when my brain starts building a mountain out of a molehill. I ask myself one question, not what's my goal, not what's my 5 year plan, just what is my next action? Not the whole training block, just the next run. Not the whole project, just the next sentence. That question is what gets me out the door on days when my brain is arguing with me the loudest. I was nervous to officially start training last week, but I did it anyway. I'm trusting my training and I'm trying not to think too far ahead to race weekend because I know that if I keep doing the work in front of me, I'll be ready when it really counts. If any of this hit home, come do the 31 Days of Showing Up challenge with us this month. 20 minutes a day. The challenge is completely free, and you don't have to have it all figured out to start. You just have to take the next action. The link is in the description, and I would love for you to join us. If you're even slightly interested, don't let your brain talk you out of it. Thank you so much for being here and for showing up with me every week. If this helped, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And you can also share it with someone who has been telling themselves something is too big a deal to start. Again, thanks for being here, and I'll see you next week.